Let me be completely honest for a second. Battlefield 6 isn't dead, but it is stuck. And that's way more dangerous than people realize. And no, I'm not talking about player numbers, Steam charts, or marketing. The real problem is something Battlefield used to do better than almost any other shooter, and somewhere along the way it lost it. And if Season 2 doesn't fix one thing, Battlefield 6 won't die overnight, it will just slowly fade into the background. Let me explain. Battlefield used to have a very clear identity. It wasn't about perfect balance or sweating every gunfight. It was about scale, chaos, and moments that felt unscripted. You didn't just play a match, you remembered it. You remembered holding a flag against impossible odds. You remembered tanks rolling through buildings. You remember that one push that somehow worked. In Battlefield 6, a lot of matches don't leave that impression. They're not bad, they're just forgetful, and that's the core issue. A game doesn't die when people stop playing it, it dies when people stop caring about what happens in it. Every time Battlefield 6 comes up, the conversation instantly turns into player numbers, Steam charts, launch peaks, drops after release, but here's the truth, that happens to every game. Numbers always fall after the first few weeks, and Battlefield isn't a Steam-only game. You've got console players, EA app players, and people who don't show up in public stats at all. More importantly, numbers don't tell you how a game feels. A game with fewer players but a strong identity will always outlast a game with bigger numbers and no soul. Battlefield doesn't need millions of players, it just needs players who log in that actually enjoy the game. If there's one thing that decides whether Battlefield 6 survives long term, it's maps. Not the weapons, not the operators, maps. Classic Battlefield maps worked because they had flow, landmark, clear front lines, and they were actually fun. Let's be honest. The maps that we currently have, they're decent, you know, some of them stand out, some of them don't. There's probably about 3 that I would play every time. But the point is, you always knew where the fight was heading, even in the chaos. Right now, a lot of Battlefield 6 maps feel functional, but not memorable. And here's the thing, one great map can change everything. That one map people can genuinely want to queue for does more for a game than 10 balance patches ever could. And that's why remastered maps matter so much. Not because of nostalgia, because they've already proven what works. And they're quite fun, let's be honest. I think everyone can go back and remember the Shanghai map with the building falling down for the first time when you see it. Like, wow, never seen anything like that before. But Season 2 doesn't need to be massive. It doesn't need 10 new weapons or flashy marketing. It needs 3 things. First, one standout map. Not a map that's just fine, it's okay. We need one great map. A map people choose to play. Second, we need full consistent lobbies. Battlefield feels completely different when matches feel alive. And third, a clear direction. Is Battlefield leading into chaos again, or is it trying to be something else? They need confidence that the game knows what it wants to be. Here's the part people forget. Battlefield is one good decision away from being relevant again. Not viral, not dominating Twitch, just solid. If Season 2 lands well, players will return, if only temporary, and that's okay. Games don't grow in straight lines, they rise, they fall, they stabilize. Battlefield doesn't need to be Call of Duty, it just needs to be Battlefield again. If Battlefield works on the maps, introduces maps that are fun, that people enjoy, there's something interesting about the map that makes people go, wow, that's really cool, I want to do that again. Because what does Battlefield do different from everyone else? They don't have a clear standout point why you should play Battlefield. Why would you? Battlefield needs to redo some of the map, maybe change it like they did in Battlefield 2042. That made the map slightly better, make it more enjoyable, make a better flow to get people to flow into the action instead of away from it. Maybe don't make maps so big, but make them more compact. Make them so everyone's going into the same directions, so then it forces gameplay to happen, so it's instant action instead of everyone's everywhere, and the only game mode people really play, as far as I can tell, is Conquest or Breakthrough. Nobody plays Red Sec as far as I know. A big change needs to happen in order to make Season 2 really popular, to get people back in, get people enjoying the game. You just need to make the game fun. If the game is fun, people will come back. So no, Battlefield 6 isn't dead, but Season 2 matters more than people think. Not because it'll magically save the game, but because it'll show whether Battlefield still understands what made it special in the first place. And let me know what you think Season 2 needs the most.